All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Shad, Ba'ashem, Kakudash. All right, I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, we are the Hebrew Israelites. All right, furthermore, we are the GMS Mississippi camp. All right, we're the undisclosed location, sort of out here in the public. Therefore, we're not having our garments. All right, and by the way, this is just an energy drink for naysayers, just a little fruit drink, okay? But the name of the live stream is called Jacob, a lab-grown product, all right? Jacob, a lab-grown product. And the reason why we're doing this live stream, is because if you think about the character and the stereotypes of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man in America, all right, it was engineered, all right, in America, all right? So Jacob being a street dude, all right, Jacob being a gangster, okay? Eve being a whore, all right, Eve being fast, all right, Eve having multiple niggas, Jacob gambling. Well, you know, gambling not illegal. I mean, it's not against the scriptures, but just, you know, Jacob just shooting craps all day, not doing nothing with his life, man. It was engineered here in America, man, okay? And if a brother had a precept, all right, you go ahead, Lamont.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 83, starting at verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Now, I've heard they that hate us lift up the head. Now, who is they that hate us? The elites of Esau, Edom, all right, and the other nations. But spearheaded by the elites, Esau, Edom. Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
The name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay? So that was the whole thing, to cut us off, but cut us off from our identity.
Okay.
Because we're still here, but we're detached from our identity. All right? And if you could get, is Israel a servant and still homeborn slave? All right? All right, you got it, bro.
This is Ezekiel 36:2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even to the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Yep, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying, once you go to the word aha in the blue letter, it goes to like to laugh or celebrate the misfortune of your enemy.
Yep.
So these other nations, they clap their hands when they see the downfall of our people in this low decadent state, you know?
Yep.
Because the low or the lower that we are in this condition, then the more they can stay in rulership. That's how they look at it.
Yep.
And, you know, like, that's a part of the crafty counsel, man, because how do you think Jay end up in all these impoverished areas, neighborhoods, you know? How Jay get all these drugs flushed into their neighborhood? Guns, you know? Just these poor conditions only increases, you know what I'm saying, a low state. Then you're going to start having prostitution. Like you said, the guns are going to lead to what? Murders. You know, and this causes our people to have a mind of straight degeneracy, man.
Yep.
Because there's no growth or positive outlooks on things. Our people be in a position where they don't see no light. Right. So they continually just get worse and worse in their captivity on top of captivity, man.
Because within this country, that's a form of captivity. Mm-hmm. But then your environment is a form of captivity. Mentally, you know?
That darkness for life.
Yep.
This is Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Now, what I want to go into was, I heard from 3 different sources. I want to say Thomas Sowell, the Republican, the conservative, also about a lady by the name of Adama Al-Azai, and a beloved brother in the camp, Ayash Amah. He was like, Black culture was really rooted in the rejects of Europe, the rejects of Britain, because they sent rejects over here to the Americas. They sent criminals over here to Americas. They was like guinea pigs, man. They were expendables, all right? Because if they died, it wouldn't be a big loss to the country. So they put criminals here in America, and they set up this particular starter kit that Jacob run with today. So when you go to the Midwest, for example, or the Wild Wild West, right? What do you have? Brothels, all right? You have churches. You have bars, all right? That was the Midwest. They used to have drawdowns, all right? But that came from Esau, Edom. It was the brothel, the church, the bars or the clubs, all right? The saloons. They even got a club down here called Pop Saloons. right? But Jake picked up that culture. So them low level, the low class British came here to America and really started Southern culture and really started that wild, wild West culture. But that would make sense why niggas in the West so fucking wild. Why niggas in the Midwest so fucking wild, man. Y'all got that culture from the degenerate Edomites, man. All right? Go ahead. Oh, no, I thought you said you had something?
Yeah, they live in that cowboy lifestyle,
That cowboy lifestyle. But Jake out here, especially Southern Jake, we got the Southern accents from them broke ass British Edomites that came down here. Jake, we from Georgia to Alabama to Mississippi. All right, the Midwest. But the starter kit, that, for lack of better words, the brothel, the club, the church, and that's Jake. Jake, no matter what Jake do Friday night, Saturday night, he gonna go to church on Sunday. Especially down south Jake, man. All right? The prostitution. But Eve out here prostitute, man. All right, that's a sign of of no leadership in a society is high violence and high prostitution. There's two signs. The thugs take over and prostitution take over, man. And that's why the people says thou shalt not prostitute thy daughters, lest thy city fall to whoring. So what happens in these inner cities? The cities fall to whoring. A lot of deaths go back to these women going to different niggas, or then those women have a bunch of babies and raise criminals. That's an example of a city falling to whoring. You got it, brother.
Yeah. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, starting in verse 2. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen.
Wait a minute, that Wild West spirit. Woohoo! Yeah, that's a heavy one. We learned the way of the heathen. Being confrontational, being impulsive, confrontations resulting into death. And we got that from your ass, man. Learn not the way of the heathen. All right, doing all this wild shit and then going to church on so-called church on Sunday. That's the way of the heathen, man. All right, go ahead.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
All right, and through your religion, indoctrinating us, we became dismayed because we go to the so-called church on Sundays. That's an infatuation with the sun. Sunday. All right.
For the heathens are dismayed at them, for the customs of the people are vain.
The Wild West spirit, man. But that degenerate city. Because all philosophies basically tell you that sin starts in the cities, as opposed to agrarian lifestyle. That's why the Amish never came into the dominant power structure, because the whole God-fearing philosophy is that sin starts in the city.
What they call Vegas,
Sin City,
and what is known for gambling, prostitution. It's a sinful society, man. And what happened in Vegas, stay in Vegas. It's a place of deception too. People go over there. I seen a video where these Edomite women actually went over there for a bachelorette party. Just to, in the bachelorette, the actual woman who's gonna get married was ready to go over there and just, have intercourse with another man before she got married. It's a place where people go to do mainly, not all people, but in general, it's a place where wickedness is accepted, man.
A place where wickedness is accepted and a place where wickedness is promoted. It's like if you're not wicked or if you're not somebody that's indulgent, you have to explain yourself. There was one comedian, he was on a talk show. He was like, when you don't drink, you have to explain yourself. It was like, did you kill somebody in a car accident? Did you abuse your kids? Like, why do you not drink? When you don't indulge in that Wild West lifestyle, not that drinking is bad, but just overly indulgent. When you don't indulge in a Wild West lifestyle, you gotta explain yourself.
It's foreign to them.
It's foreign. Like you don't eat breakfast, you skip breakfast. Why? What's another one? You don't smoke. It's like, what happened? Like, I remember Jake told me that when I was younger. He was like, "What type of nigga don't smoke?" Like, he walked out talking to himself, like, "Damn, what type of nigga don't smoke, man?" But it's like, if you don't indulge, but where do we get that shit from? Right. We got that shit from Esau Edom, man. All right.
You tell Jake you ain't dealing with another man, woman. He'd be like, "What? That's the best one to deal with. Yeah. You ain't got to worry about her saying nothing or getting attacked."
Yeah.
But it's wicked, man.
Or the chick already pregnant or something like
that. Right.
And you going all in her, man. Learn not the way of the heathen, man. All right, even on the computer world, man, the stuff you watch on the computer, you got that shit from Esau. Now Eve talking about threesomes. Yeah. The woman coming at you about a damn threesome, man. No, I'm not gonna hit you and your friend. All right. The woman coming at you on some, she introducing you to the shit, man. But these are mindsets, and that's why Australia, they got them freaky ass beaches. Like Australia,
Yeah.
they got a culture where they have them sensual nude beaches and stuff.
Okay, come.
But the reason why, because they dropped off rejects and degenerates to Australia. They were the lab rats as test subjects going from Britain to Australia.
Now you got the results of new beaches.
Yeah, come on. See, the fallacy is that this is the dominant power structure, so they're superior, they're civilized. No, you're just a dominant power structure, because it says in Daniel 4:17 that the Most High put the bases of men into power. But you're still a base ass man. That's why the Romans are so freaky, because they're all Edomites. They're all Edomites. That's why I said, you're estranged from the womb. What are you estranged from? The laws. Are you got it, bro?
Okay. This is Proverbs 12:26. And it says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them.
Because from the time you a baby, you watching on your TV and now your tablet, wickedness. Even South Park and SpongeBob and Bart Simpsons and Rugrats, it all,
Not just a SpongeBob, man. They got some wicked shit in the midst of that damn show.
You know?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good, bro. Just, it's processing. Everything you watch, it promotes wickedness, man. Even Family Matters. Carl Winslow didn't have a beard. You know? He was a beta to his wife. He had that, and kind of find out, I think he was a mo.
Yeah,
You know?
Married, he was dealing with the father on the Fresh Prince. Uncle Phil.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then they got the spin-off from Fresh Prince called Bel Air on Peacock. And the youngest daughter, Ashley, was a lesbo, man. But they're normalizing it. That's why I said, the scripture says, learn not the way of the heathen. Now it's nothing for females to talk about they like other females or they would another female, man. Especially Judah. How you learn from Heather and now you go harder than Heather? You go harder than Heather in being a little freaky little sensual woman. That was Heather's thing. A little freaky little sensual woman experiment with other women. Now Eve, every other Eve is a damn lesbo. Probably majority of them lesbos, man. For lack of better words, man.
And even dealing with the name of the show, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, that Bell goes back to Baal. Going to Baal Air.
Yeah, the Prince of the Air.
Yeah, Prince of the Air.
So Will Smith is in the stead of the Prince of the Air. He's like an embodiment of the Prince of the Air, which is Satan, man. So part of Satanism, feminism is a byproduct of Satanism. Feminism has a reality in which men are effeminate, they're effeminized, the women are lesbians, and they're empowered. All right? Brother, because it's black culture, though. It's black culture, because you don't have to walk like a woman to be feminine. Nigga, you in this chick apartment, but you ain't got no apartment. You one of her niggas. You effeminate, man, but how the fuck she is the woman got an apartment, a car, and a job, but you as a man, you don't. But you're her in the feminist reality, you're her nigga. Basically, it's like Esau gave Eve us. Like now we're her property. Now we're her property.
And coming up in this matriarch system, like you say, a grown man, he'll be staying with his mother, constantly depending on his mom. And then only thing he'll do is transition to get a woman. Now that woman becomes that mother figure. Like the elder saying that he just living with her, staying with her, she working and doing everything. But it's that whole matriarch, man. And a man has been so, I don't even know how to put in the words, but he's now dependent on the woman, man. And it's making him more feminine, and it's making the woman more masculine.
And that term is called being son husbands.
Son husband.
Yeah. So like when a man's on, like a young boy under the wings of his mother and the father's outside,
Yep.
He's not in the picture.
Because you realize like her little coping mechanism for not having that man around.
That's right.
But that's a man you can mold.
That's right.
You can mold your son. You can't mold that man so easily. So you got that son because you can mold him into the man you want him to be. All right, for you. And that's why the little son be cuffing a mama with men.
That's it. This is Isaiah 46:8. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O you transgressors.
Show yourselves men.
That's a commandment.
That's a commandment. And part of being a man is standing for Yahweh Bashim Shai, following the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Shai, and being fucking independent. You know, you might cohabitate with the woman, because y'all might go half on shit high in Egypt. But you ain't living with the woman, and you ain't paying no bills, and you her nigga. That's that feminist paradigm. Like that demon Glorilla. What she say? She got a brown nigga with dreads and a black nigga with waves. You know what she sound like? Like she a plantation owner on the auction block. I got a brown nigga going for the 35, 25, 25. I got a black nigga going for the 25, 25. So yeah, sold to the. It's like you selling off niggas. Because Jake, in the feminist paradigm, in the feminist reality, you're property to the so-called black woman. You're a tool. But who gave her that reality? Esau Edom. So we know we can pretty much put together roundabout what that conversation was about in the garden. I could give you Adam.
That's right.
I could give you a bunch of Adams.
That's right.
You can have 9, 10 Adams. You know, I give you a main Adam and a side Adam. So in a so-called black feminist reality, the so-called black Hispanic and Native American man has been devalued to a tool. You're an ATM machine or a dildo. You're an ATM machine or a sex tool, man. That's why it's nothing to off your babies, man. She get pregnant.
Right.
It's nothing to off. It's nothing to have you offed. All right, you know, and it's spiritual because that's why you don't mind being prosecutors. Kamala Harris is bragging about how many Israelite men she prosecuted, man. All right, you got it, bro. Whoever had the priest, you just gonna get that word bioengineered? You can get a cross engineer or reverse engineer.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, starting verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Yep. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
Because Adam showed himself a man when he really rebuked the serpent. He showed himself a man when he got weak for that woman. And then us men, we've had moments in our life that we had to experience an Adam moment. We got weak for the woman. You had a lapse in judgment, and you had to live the consequences of that shit. But we had our Adam moment. We had our King Solomon moment, man. Well, hey, that's because we're a microcosm of them.
Right.
But then we learn from that. All right?
And that scripture right there, that's not really promoted here within the society. Like you said, it's like a very feminine vibration here within the society, where you have the modern women thinking that they are the prize now. You know, but soon we got to really see that theory of how you're going to be the prize when out here really breaks loose within this American society, you know?
Because what did our forefathers say? 7 women should cleave to one man.
That's right, right.
So they can't be the prize.
Right. I just listened to Elder Apostle Tarium, you know, on they recent live they did yesterday. They did an indoor sit down. Pastor Hart said he never seen these many so-called, you know, pretty women, fit young women being homeless nowadays. He said he'll see if they was out of shape, old, you know, don't have any good looks. But these like pretty fit women, a lot of them coming to social media saying that they homeless.
So Esau is starting to abandon Eve, man.
Yeah.
But you know what though? You know what they're doing on college campus? Hoeing.
Oh yeah.
They hoeing. They going to parties and games, and they got it's everybody not gonna have a successful career from college. And then a lot of jobs you have are not priority jobs, so it's easy to lay you off. So that little package that you had with the serpent, you know, because what happened with in Babylon is that you gave your womanhood to Esau Edom and neglected your nation.
Right, yeah.
So when Esau Edom neglects you, you don't have a nation to go back to.
Right. That's why it says in I think that's why you made that covenant with them.
Yep, that's the covenant.
You know,
yeah.
Now we're at that terms now. You know, pursuant to biblical prophecy, it's becoming disannulled.
Yep.
You know, Esau, he's about to get ready to void out that contract that you all made back in the garden now.
And you're not gonna have anybody to go to.
That's right.
You know, you're not gonna have anybody to go back to because you shitted on us, man. You've been shitting, and really, if you get deep, you really been shitting on us since after slavery.
That's right.
After slavery, you want to be a so-called white woman. You've been straightening your hair out. Even I forget her name. I was raised growing up reading about her. She invented the straightening comb. Madam C.J. Walker. Now, why did you invent the straightening comb when our hair is naturally woolly? You should have had. There's nothing wrong. Well, you know, she didn't give you the perm, but what's wrong with having woolly hair? You know, but y'all always want to be the so-called white woman. You always wanted to be up under the so-called white man. even after slavery, man. Because I give you too much credit when I be speaking on, yeah, you know, back in the 50s that was with us. Really, you always want to be under the so-called white man. You know, you really have a wound of post-traumatic slave syndrome.
I came across a video, man, like they were showing like back in the 1970s, like so-called, black, black men and women, they was feuding then.
Yeah.
You had black men going to the black woman saying, like, you aided white America. You pretty much left us out the, the view, out the portion, So a lot of, men was doing that back then. How much more nowadays? That's why a lot of men, especially so-called black men, they're not dealing with the so-called black American woman anymore.
It's we in two different realities. Yeah. Eve is in a whole nother reality, man. Even if you physically attracted to Eve, it's like her mindset is that y'all got a homeboy, y'all got a male friend, y'all half of them got kids already. And I'm not just saying this just to say it, it's just real. We experienced it. Even if you see a chick that's cool, as soon as I get to talking, it's like, damn, we can't. I can't fuck with that.
My mind tainted, man.
Yeah,
by that Babylonian wine,
But we understand what Esau was doing. He's using our women to destroy the nation. Because you can say, well, it's niggas too. But who created niggas? Niggas came after the matriarch. The Frankenstein nigga, he came after matriarch.
That's why Esau made a covenant with Eve. Like, look, we can get you in this apartment. We can get you in this house for a very low price, $50, man, Section 8. But you can't hire your man, your baby father, your husband. They can't be in the home. They can't live there.
You know what this woman on TikTok said? Just to further expound on what you said, she was like, yeah, the so-called white man, he said, I'm going to give you this welfare. I'm going to give you this Section 8. I'm going to give you this free living. But at the end of it, you got to give me your son. I'm going to give you this welfare. I'm going to give you this Section 8, $600 a month in food stamps, $5,000 a year in taxes. But you know what? Give me your son. When your son grow up, give me your son. All right, because in every facet of existence, Esau owns your son. That nigga an athlete, Esau owns him. If he's a worker, Esau owns him. If he's a street nigga, Esau owns him. Because the streets is a concrete jungle. But what does Esau do in them jungles? He plants the traps. He got the surveillance cameras. Esau really gets to the science of hunting. So the inner cities, that's your son being an animal, and he gonna hunt your son, man. And he's been hunting your son since what, the 70s?
Right. Yeah.
Since gang culture, the 80s. Yeah. He's been hunting your son, man. So look at it. Either your son is, first of all, the men are fucking sold. They're through because of the so-called black woman. All right. But then the nation is through because of the so-called black woman. Right. Through her, we all die.
That's right. She complains about the very same products that she created.
Fuck a nigga, I hate niggas. See, y'all niggas. But it's two things. You like these niggas, came from your mama. Right. And secondly, these the niggas you chose. Because it's still Jake like us outside the truth. Yeah, structured guys that go to work, go home. But Eve ain't checking for them like that.
Too boring.
Eve check for us. Eve check for us when them kids come out. Eve check for that structure and stability when she need that help with them bills, man. But now you ain't finna be, we know how Eve get down, man. All right, you got it.
Reverse engineering real quick. It says the reproduction of another's manufacturing product following detailed examination of its construction and composition.
So reverse engineering is I make a product and you as a competitor, you dissect that product and figure out how to make your own version of the product. And I believe that's how you come up with, like, let's say Fruit Loops, you got great value food. You find out how to make their ingredients. But what you did, you somewhat reverse engineered the so-called black man. Because you understand, okay, this is Jacob. You went into the history of us as Moors. You went further into the history of us being Israelites, our King David, House of David. How do I get them out of that regal state? How do I get them out there ruling class? I get them away from their God.
That's right.
You Frankenstein the nation. You raise, and then you say, how do I get them from wanting to build? Well, men create builders. You got the men at the household. That right there made us monsters.
So he capitalized off the curses.
He capitalized off the curses, man.
Because Esau knows by him being that cunning hunter, you go to how it goes to Genesis 3rd chapter, I use more cunning or more subtle than any beast in the field. It goes to like artful and deception. So he knows that I can capitalize off the curses upon these chosen people. And he already knows that the wages of sin is death. So he promotes death culture around our people day by day. You see it from social media.
Yep.
You see it everywhere in your daily lives. You know?
Yeah, it's deaf culture, and like you said, our kryptonite is transgression.
Right.
It's sin. So he's capitalized off sin. He's capitalized off adultery. He's capitalized. You go to the poorest neighborhoods, those little chicken joints, they all got pork. All those little burger fry joints, it's extra bacon. It's laden with bacon. All right. So you got adultery, pork, seafood joints, catfish houses. We're in the South. Catfish houses and shit. Oh, it's idol worshiper church on every corner. All right. So all these things we just named, the scripture says directly don't do this shit. All right. Homosexuality. Eve talked to you about her stud girlfriend like that's a dude. Like you're just supposed to accept it. All right. Jake out here low key dealing with transformers. You know, Eve out here carpet munching. All right. All these things the scriptures plainly say don't do. But who made this into a culture? The son of perdition.
Thou shalt not surely die.
Thou shalt not surely die. You know? Like I said, you know, in our line of work, man, we deal with college kids. You know, you be around college kids and shit. You kind of get a sample of their mindset when you hear them talk, man. You realize, like, yeah, like, yeah, Esau did a work because he got Eve out the household. As soon as Eve turned 18, 19, Esau get you out the households and on these college campuses. Now, let's get to the scriptures because I don't want to just keep reading. What does it say? Give not thy daughter liberty to guide a bride or a wicked wife. You know? Yeah. Come. But Jacob, me, the Israelite man, the Israelite woman, in America, you're so-called the so-called black and man and a black woman. You're a lab product. You're a lab-grown product, meaning you were only cultivated in America. This is not who you are in Israel. That's why it's so hard to associate yourself with the people you read in the Bible, because he's re-engineered your ass to be a degenerate. 20 women versus one rapper, and they all sluts. Then a nigga damn perkhead, the rapper, how old are you? You suck dick. And then the women just plainly say, you know, they have no discretion. Y'all are degenerates. The nigga a loser, but the females are losers. All right.
This is Sirach 25 and verse 24. So the woman came to the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Through her the whole nation was ruined. Through Eve. Dude, you and Esau linked up. And your son, you the reason why your son going to the military in most cases. You the reason why your son is a mo. You the reason why your daughter is a hoe. You the reason why Jake going to prison. You the reason why your son's getting shot up. It's you, Eve. You know?
Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather bride.
Well, when you put your daughter on college campus for 4 years, you giving her liberty to gather bride. Now, granted, certain brothers, you can't. Sometimes you can't control if your daughter go to college. Like we in Babylon, we understand that, but we're just saying in general, man. You know, or even certain me and you go off and let your woman do too much, man. You know, we didn't went off, man. All right, but the point is, man. All right, this society rules our people. You pick up people, right? You deal with people. You look at the food they eat. If your whole meal costs $5, you ruining yourself. If your whole meal, you go through a drive-through. This is Esau eating because Esau knows it's something about the price $5 that sit well with Jake. If your whole meal costs $5, man, your enemy is killing you. He's poisoning you.
You only see down here, I know, I'm not sure what other cities or states, like the pit fires mostly be in the inner cities, but Jake mostly do LA.
The pit fires mostly be in the inner cities. Because Esau knows that you got to pay more for quality. But Jacob ain't going to no Jason's Deli. And every time a certain environment gets saturated with Jake, the quality restaurants leave. Then they get replaced with a chicken joint or a Chinese joint. Well, the Moabites, the so-called Chinese, don't eat that shit. That should tell you something. You got it. I'm sorry, you got it, brother.
Okay. This Ecclesiasticus 26. I saw this verse 7 in GNT. It says a bad wife is like a yoke that doesn't fit. Trying to control her is like holding a scorpion. A drunken woman is an infuriating sight.
And we've had some of them bad wives. They act like you're oppressing them because you don't want them to have, you don't want them all over the place.
Looking out for their best interest.
Yeah, you're looking out for them. You're my woman now. I don't want you to look like you single Keisha. You know? But the most I deal with that.
Like you're saying though, in college, that's where a lot of these young girls, man, start experiencing being drunk, party, frat parties, and they start putting themselves out there, man. And they become what? A product of the street.
That's where they really turn to those Greeks.
Yeah.
They get molded.
Yeah.
A lot of times, for the most part, not all the time, they be sheltered in high school years. But when they out there so-called free in college,
They're wilding.
they're wild, man.
Then their daddy let them get an apartment.
Oh, man.
Every time Dick and yeah, hey. And then, but then what feminism and what the serpent did, he re-engineered women. He recreated their image. So now being in your early 20s is a little girl. So when they get 30s, they was like, well, when I was in my 20s, I was a little girl doing little girl things.
My whole face.
But she'll say it like in a euphemistic way. Like I was a little girl, just having fun. But now I'm 36 and I'm grown. I'm 42. See, I'm grown. I'm 40 now. I'm grown. Now I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to find that man. Esau gave you that narrative, like, okay, in your 20s, you can do your thing. Couple kids within a decade, you got a couple kids. But now you grown.
Man. So it says, verse 8, it says, a drunken woman is infuriating sight. She can't conceal her shameless behavior.
Yeah, you yelling, you screaming sexual things out loud with your friends. It's 5 or 6 y'all loud, drunk in a bar, a nigga walk past y'all. Hey. Oh, then when you drinking, your eyes become more wanton, less disciplined, man.
Like those street interviews you see like on social media, it's like they in competition now, these modern women. Like, let's see if we say the most degenerate stuff.
Yep.
It's like they all in competition nowadays, man.
Yep.
Like, it's getting more defiled day by day when you see those type of interviews.
And then don't act like you ain't got low confidence. You know how we know you got low confidence? Because the first thing y'all bring up is sex. The first thing you bring up, like if you like a dude, the first thing you kind of bring up is see how he react to it. Because that goes to show you that Esau took your value away. He don't believe in herself no more. I don't think she got it. If I don't think you got is your body, you trash.
And when you don't bite that bait through the spirit, hey, you mess her mind up.
You mess her mind up, man. Or another thing I learned too, if you could cut them off, like fuck the SEX. They disrespect you, you know what I mean? That fuck their mind up too.
I think Kevin Samuels stated that the most powerful thing a man can do is leave.
Yeah, but you know who said that before him through the spirit? Elder Ayathon.
Okay.
It was like, the power is in leaving.
Right.
But the confirmation two people. Right. The power is in leaving. But it's even more power when you don't bite. Hey, you don't even bite down, man. Because we realize, like, man, Eve ain't got nothing to offer but death. Like, you can look at how a woman take care of herself and figure out what she have to offer you. And it's not all Eve, right. But it's these archetypes that represent you is bad for the nation. The sexy rares, the glorrillas, they're archetypes telling the rest of the world this is a so-called black woman.
They said that's the standard.
So now when you see the average so-called black woman, you have that prejudice about it. Right. Just like us. Yeah. We're not no niggas. Yeah. But unfortunately, we get mistreated sometimes because people initially think we're niggas. Right.
And these women nowadays, there's no wondering of the mind, man, because when they come around, they always completely revealing, man.
Yep.
Breast all out, ass cheeks hanging out, the tightest outfit you can put on. There's no thought of, damn, what she look like naked. You don't have to think about that shit no more. It's everything is just out there, man.
And then is it just me? But when a woman dressed modest and she ain't had no makeup and her hair natural, it make you feel safer as a man. It make you feel like a little more secure, like homely. Yeah. When you're in her presence, you feel a little more homely. But when she exotic, you of course you're looking at it, but it's your spirit is not sound. You know what I mean? But those same women will look at you weird if you try to.
Right. Yeah. You can't blame these other nations. Look at us like this because look what's said as a standard from a wider perspective. Yeah. You see on social media. So when you see these other nations, like they see us as brothers coming to like a group form into a restaurant, they be kind of like, let's test the spirits how they gonna act. They see that we mannerable,
Yep.
we all like in the right spirit, you know what I'm saying? We respectful and things of that sort. So we mess their minds up with that.
Once me and a few brothers went to it might have been Cracker Barrel, just some years ago, the Memphis brothers. And by the time we got done with our meal, the waitress pulled up and said, yeah, that couple over there paid for your food. And it was some old Edomites. They're just peeping us the whole time. They paid for our food, man. And it's just like, oh, they not niggas.
I was gonna say there was some niggas right there.
They were not niggas. So like that's thank you.
They probably made a bet, goddamn.
Yeah. But we've been reverse engineered off the nigga stuff. I really believe when they made the book Frankenstein, I was talking about the American so-called black man. And I believe through the spirit, the 1/3 is escaping from that social engineering of being Frankenstein of America. Those dry bones. Cause it is like some Frankenstein, So I believe the 1/3, hence the sunken place.
Yes.
Hence the phrase "get out." All right, hence the phrase "get out." So the 1/3 is waking from that Frankenstein state. As a matter of fact, Ezekiel 37, get that dry bones. I ain't making this up. That's why we're learning our language. We're learning our language now. What's the language? Hebrew. We're being cultivated now. Cultivated with what? The laws, statutes, and commandments, the customs of our fathers. Like me and the brother priest of Yash was talking the other day. At the camp, he see now that it's more like good for his spirit to stick around at the camp and eat with brothers. It's part of our culture. Eat with the brothers. Certain restaurants you don't want to go by yourself. You want to call a brother like, I want to go to this restaurant. Just be amongst the brothers, man. Part of our customs, man.
We the true Orientals, so that's like us. Now through the spirit, we're being de-westernized, and we tapping more to being more Easternized.
More Easternized, man. Most brothers, we drink wine more than anything else. Or if you drink that tequila, that liquor's a higher grade. A brother might go a week without drinking liquor, man. A month. That's right. Changing the diet, detoxing, fasting. Hey, and you know what that if you want to keep yourself in a Frankenstein state, just keep eating processed food. Processed food, that's the diet for Frankenstein. Every species has a product. So the species of Frankenstein is processed food. They keep you in a demonic spirit. What's the music for Frankenstein? That nigga music, that drill music, that whole music, 304 music, man. Go a month without listening to that, consuming that culture, man, and see how your spirit will feel better.
Even with that, how Esau weaponized music to further his agenda, like that's called sonic warfare. Those different musical frequencies and stuff like that, it puts you on a different vibration, more so at lower vibration.
Because I'm starting to realize, of course the words are enchanting, but his main focus is the frequency.
Yes.
I can say whatever in these words, but it's the frequency. I got this music being played that really got your mind under a spell too. Because he plays certain music at a certain frequency. All right, but you got the scripture, bro. No, you can.
I was gonna make a point, I'm on Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle show. Remember, he showed that difference when he went to these different. He went to a Spanish barbershop. He went to a Jake barbershop.
In the Edomite meeting.
In the music, it changed the behavior of how people was acting. Whether they start doing salsa or Jake got them start throwing, how
start freestyling and stuff.
Yeah. And Esau, they start getting all off beat and shit. But it just shows you how music does generates a particular vibration to make people behave in a certain fashion, man.
Nah, hey, there you go. Yeah, I remember that stuff. It was funny, man. But
it's Ezekiel 37 and verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. That valley is going to America. That's why King David prophesied through the spirit in Psalm 23rd chapter about the valley of the shadow of death. Because you think about the valley is like a low land. And that's referencing to America because it's low in morals, it's low in values, righteous traditions. It's just lower vibration. So look at the majority of our people that's caught up into this well with this Babylonian wine now. They drinking all that Babylonian wine in their cup. You see how adulterated their minds have been taken, Verse 2 says, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
And like the Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, He was like, oil. He needed that oil.
Yeah.
What is the oil scripturally? It's the word. It's the understanding. All right. What did the lion need? The lion, he needed a heart. But what happened? He lacked courage. Because from a spiritual perspective, it's as though he's wounded from slavery. He lost that confidence.
Traumatized.
He's traumatized. You know? He was traumatized, man. But even the scarecrow, if you think about it, and this is me speaking as a man, the scarecrow was like the byword in the proverb of Jake. Like the minstrel show. Like the caricature.
The scarecrow needs the mind.
Oh yeah, he like understanding. But all three make up the nation of Israel. He like understanding, or he like the laws. All right, the oil, he like the understanding of the word, but their heart. He's traumatized, he's wounded from slavery. A scary lion? That's Jacob. Because Jacob is a prey in America.
That's right.
All right.
This verse 3 said, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answer, O Lord, power, thou knowest. And he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus said the Lord, power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live.
Represent to Revelation 11:11. About the 3 days and a half, the spirit of life shall enter into them. And now you see the brothers coming together in the vibration of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai in these latter times. A great fear fell upon them. Who is that them? Referring to these elites of these other nations. But they see when we come into that vibration of Yahweh Shai, their time is clicking when it comes to rulership. That's why it goes to Revelation 12:12, how the devil know that he has but a short time. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because he's in that congregation of the hopeful elect, coming together in these latter times.
Was it in Judah? The 5th chapter, I think 25 or something. But they knew that, of course, that wasn't a Moabite general was telling the king, that they can't. Okay, so like an Ammonite. But anyway, he was basically telling the king that it's not wise to move on Israel as long as they're, under the good grace of their God, man. But when they start falling away, then that'll be the time to move in on them, man. And see that remnant that the Lord had preserved. Like the elder was saying, these elite see that they're coming back into the fold under the banner of Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai. So now they're worried, man. They're concerned because they know this is a sign of their kingdom getting ready to go down, man.
That's right.
Yep. But that's right. Hey, but with that, we're gonna bring this lesson to a closing. Did y'all have any closing scriptures?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll close it with that.
This is Isaiah 52:1 in the GNT. Said, Jerusalem, be strong and great again, holy city of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Clothe yourself with splendor. The heathen will never enter into your gates again. Shake yourself free, Jerusalem. Rise from the dust and sit on your throne. Undo the chains that bind you, captain people of Zion.
Yep. So there you go. And going back to the scarecrow, I thought about it. Scripture said, I'll put my laws into thy mind. So the scarecrow, he didn't have the laws. Then the oil was the understanding. All right, and the heart, of course, was to get our courage back. All right, but with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash. Double honors to our elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect, Abba Baal, Come Yah Shalom, Shalom.